Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World, and in this video we're going to review Meliodas. So yeah, we're going to follow the usual format, so we're going to talk about how good this guy is, how much investment he needs, skills, exclusive equipment, gear, ignition weapon, report, and I'm also going to showcase a couple of clears with him. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Uh, I also want to mention that in these days I couldn't play a lot, so I didn't have as much time as I wanted to test this guy like thoroughly, but I think I have a good enough overview on his potential at the moment. And I will also release, I think, an update on my tier list probably after Sheila is released. I don't think it makes any sense to do it now. You can, or like, I still haven't updated the rankings for Meliodas, Escanor, and Elizabeth, but I would say all three of them are solid S tier units. Not sure who I'm going to rank with S plus of the three, but they definitely have a lot of potential. They definitely made Blue a lot better. Okay, that being said, let's just get started with the review. So, how good is Meliodas? I would say this guy has definitely a ton of potential. I still cannot decide on whether he is a better DPS or Elizabeth is a better DPS. I'm not sure. I can say that this guy deals a ton of damage and can also survive quite well. So I'm happy with this unit, and I would say he's a good replacement for like Kunran or units like that. Even though Kunran is still really good, don't get me wrong, I think that guy, like I'm using him a lot as well, and in some stages he dealt more damage than Meliodas. I don't know how, to be honest, but he did. And other stages, Meliodas just was way too above him. Well, I also have to mention that I gave Meliodas the better set and also the more like link levels, but okay. And yeah, I also just recently got a 381 link, so I'm having an easier time climbing now, and I will try to push as much as possible, but I will showcase a few clears I just did with him. Just keep in mind that, I mean, the deficit is still like 4 times, stuff like that, but still, it's easier than it was before when I was at 365, that's for sure. So regarding the amount of investment this guy needs, I would say 3 red is viable for sure. The issue is that he really wants the special skill to be cast as soon as possible. So you really want to strive for that Rainbow 5. I used him a bit when he was not even Orange 4, and he could still survive if you place him in the backline, which you probably still want to do anyway. But if you place him in the backline, he's not going to get focused immediately. Escanor can keep him alive quite well, so I would say is still usable, but I don't know. You definitely want the Rainbow 5 for the additional damage, utility, and whatever that provides. So yeah, that's pretty much all for Meliodas. Now let's have a look at the skills. So I'm going to filter it by blue, otherwise I'm not going to find him ever. You will notice also that I got a lot more dupes of all collab units. I just went crazy one day and I was like, okay, I just want to pull until the next SSR unit. And I ended up like doing 150 pulls and not getting anything. I was fuming. I was like, what the? And then I kept going and I wasted like, I think 60k suspendium and I only got a handful of copies. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Let's use all I can to max them. And yeah, I kind of did. Before going on with that, let's just have a look at the collab here because it was really crazy. Let's go in the exchange shop here, and you can see I exchanged 6 copies. Like I exchanged Meliodas 6 times, which means I got 12 Elizabeth over Rainbow 5. 12. For some reason, they kept giving me Elizabeth. And well, to be honest, it's 14 because now I have two more tokens or two more whatever that is to exchange. So I got 14 Elizabeth over Rainbow 5 before I got that guy even close. I had to get so many dupes of him this way. It's ah, guys, it was really, I don't know, really, it was crazy. It was crazy. Nothing to say. So that being said, let's just go over Meliodas and his kit. So here we are. Let's click on him, skills, and let's have a look at the passive first. So we already read it in a previous video, but yeah, we're still going to go over it again. So basically, it's going to start with 3 stacks of Shackles of Purgatory, and whenever he's hit by an enemy special move, he's going to lose one of those stacks, and damage taken from that special move is going to be reduced by 80%. Really huge, I would say. It's really helpful. Then when he loses all stacks, so after he takes 3 special skills in the face, he's going to get additional 80% attack, magic pierce increased by 20%, and recovers 100% of his energy. So he's going to cast the special skill immediately. And yeah, basically he's going to have the 20% pierce for no time, just for the time of the special skill, which is not bad because it means every once in a while is going to have a boosted special skill because the 20% magic pierce is also going to be converted into additional attack coefficient, but we're going to see that later on. So yeah, we can see here true power is removed once Meliodas uses his special move, and Meliodas applies 3 Shackles of Purgatory effect on himself again after 6 seconds. So he's going to get this effect again after he used the special skill, like 6 seconds after. And nobody can remove the Shackles of Purgatory and the buff with buff removal skills, so Urek cannot remove your buffs. That's basically all. Then we have Chain Slash is going to deal 400% of his attack as damage 4 times, which is 1600% attack as damage in an AoE. The AoE is not too big, but still is okay. The final hit, the 2 enemies with the lowest HP are afflicted with a barrier block debuff for 8 seconds. These I haven't looked exactly if it's going to prevent them from creating the barriers. I think it did because when I went against an Amigo charts or something like that, it couldn't create barriers. So it was quite good. I would say this is a really nice effect. It only lasts for 8 seconds, but at times is more than enough. Then we have Pierce and Strike. This one is going to increase the magic pierce of Meliodas by 20% for 10 seconds and is going to launch 2 magic orbs to deal 400% of his attack as damage to enemies 2 times. So it's a 1600 total with 800% per target and is going to lock them for 2 seconds. And then he's going to strike down his sword to deal 600% of his attack as damage. So cool. I'm not sure, to be honest, if this one is AoE or single target. So yeah, I haven't really checked it. And every single hit, so all 3 of them, as far as I can understand it, is going to deal additional damage for every 1% of the target's remaining HP. So the more HP the enemy has, the more damage you're going to deal. It's not really going to be too much, but still is a nice addition, nice buff. Then we have the special skill. This is really huge. So he's going to deal 800% of his attack as damage to the enemy, knocking them down for 2 seconds. Well, this is also an AoE attack, it's not a single target one, even though the wording is kind of weird because it only says enemy, but okay, it's an AoE one. And Meliodas is invincible while he's casting the skill, okay, cool. And he's going to deal 8% of his attack as additional damage for every 1% of magic pierce he has. I would say if you can get this 20% and the 20% from the passive, plus the one you have in the kit is like usually around 100%, give it or take. Let's say 80%. So you are 640% attack as additional damage, which is a nice coefficient increase. And is also, let me see, yeah, okay, that was the part there. And then for the next 6 seconds, which is not a lot of time, unfortunately, but still is really good and improves his survivability a lot. Meliodas is going to cap the damage he can take to 5% of his max HP, and is going to go down to 3% with the Exusia equipment. So overall, the skill set is really, really solid in my opinion. The damage is there. He also has some utility that we also see in the Exusia equipment. Survivability, everything is in there, and I think this kit is really, really good. Now let's have a look at the Exusia equipment, and we can see here, well, I just don't really get the physical resistance increase here. I mean, you are kind of forced to run a slot 5 with Magic Pierce, so you lose out on the physical resistance there, so it's okay. They're going to give you guys 10% from the Exusia equipment. Okay, but yeah, probably additional, I don't know, some other stats would have been better, but this one is still fine. It helps survivability a bit. Then it's going to get additional 10% Magic Pierce at the start of the battle. Really, really cool. So that also means additional like attack coefficient in the special skill. Really, really good. Is going to decrease the magic resistance of enemies hit by the active one, the Chain Slash. Only the ones hit by the last hit, but it's fine. By 40% for 8 seconds. Really, really huge debuff, I would say. It's not bad at all. He's going to, like Meliodas' attack is increased by 50% if he's going to attack the buffed enemies. And if you're pairing him with Escanor, enemies are always going to be debuffed because that guy, like Escanor, has an AoE debuff, so really, really good. And then level 4, Meliodas damage taken from each hit changes so that it does not exceed 3%, what I was saying before. So here, the Exusia equipment is nice, has some good buffs overall for Meliodas, for special move, active skill, and also some general stats that are always applied. So really good Exusia equipment here. Now, if we go over the gear and talk about it, I would say definitely you want to increase the accuracy here. So slot 1 is your priority. Slot 4 is probably the next one you want to go for. You want him to survive, especially if you don't have him Rainbow 5. You really want this piece so that he can stay alive a bit longer. Then here you want the additional damage, obviously, as the third option. So slot 2, I will give it third in terms of priority. And then evasion is probably the last one you want to focus on. Even though now that the enemies have lower accuracy, this piece is actually quite good, quite important, but still, I wouldn't worry too much. And like in the long run, all this information will be totally useless because you guys are still going to max like every single piece. So, okay, it's a no-brainer. Then if we go and look at the ignition weapon, in here you basically want to run a Bergamot set. I would say that's the best set on him. I tried him with Doris. I tried him with L, but it was kind of troll, I would say. But yeah, definitely you want to run him with the Bergamot set so that when he takes like capped damage after the special move, you're going to like be able to stay at 100% HP basically because you keep on healing and you're healing more than the damage you're taking. So really, really good. The like important stats here are just for slot 4, you want main stat magic resistance. You want this guy to survive as much as possible. And obviously as much magic pierce as you can. And then for slot 5, you want to go for, as I said before, magic pierce main stat. Like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to talk about my piece because I was so unlucky with so many low rolls. I was, whatever. The stats are good, but unfortunately, they are so low in percentages. It's crazy, but whatever. And then, yeah, in general, like your usual priorities, you're going to want accuracy. That's mainly for like pieces used in higher floors because still like I think before floor 45 you probably won't even need to anymore with the recent nerfs, but still It's always a nice stat to have if they're not going to entirely remove the mechanic, which seems to be more or less the way they're going with all the nerfs to both evasion and accuracy. We're probably going to see some huge changes soon. So probably you could even not bother with accuracy at all. But I would say definitely magic peers. You want also some crit rate and crit damage wherever possible just to boost the damage a bit. And physical and magic resistance wherever you can. And yeah, don't take my pieces too much. Don't care too much about them because they're not optimal. Not all of them. I had some good ones, at least for the Bergamot, because this is the set I also use on my Evankel, and I got quite lucky on some of them, but others really have low percentages. This one, like for example, is a quite good one. And the total stats that my Meliodas has is 739 accuracy, 706 evasion, 54 swiftness, okay, whatever, and 70% magic pierce. This is really uh, a key stat because it's going to get to 80% with the Exclusive Equipment level 1 effect, and then he has an additional 40% that could be up at times. So yeah, let's say 20%. I'm around 100% magic pierce on average, I would say. Is not too bad. And then we also see that magic resistance and physical resistance are quite high. And with the additional 30% from Escanor, this guy is going to get quite tanky anyway, even without, like, even if we don't take into account the special move effect that's going to cap the damage taken. So I'm quite happy with this kit on him, and it works really, really well. Now, before the showcase, let's just briefly mention again the Rapport, but as you guys know, on a main DPS, you always want to go for level 6 Rapport. No questions asked. Now, with all these story events that are going to give you tons of kits, you guys should have no issues like taking them to level 6. So, yeah. All right, that being said, let me just show a few clears. Let's just go for this one. I am pretty sure it was a good one. Okay, so here we can see I had Kunran in. This guy really had a terrible set. If we see here, I gave him a Doris with random stuff just to give additional swiftness to Meliodas. And then I had this guy with a damage set, physical pierce, and I think also crit damage, yeah, just random because Escanor could keep him alive, so it was quite good. And she's just useless with Runda pretty much, I would say, yeah. And then this guy with the set I just showed you. So, okay. Let's just have a look and replay this fight. I will probably have to lower the speed a bit. Wait a second. See here, speed reduced, okay. All right, I don't know why, guys. I noticed it quite often that you can see Meliodas had, okay, the damage there was insane, but you could see that Meliodas had the special move active like for a few seconds and he didn't cast it. I don't know why, but he does it quite a lot of times. You will always see him with the special skill active and he's not going to cast anything at all. I don't know why. I mean, okay, when there are crowd controls in place, sure. When there is a fear, a taunt, whatever, I get it. But sometimes it's just auto attacking and then he has full energy and he's not doing anything. I was like, okay, interesting. So that one was an example of just a random clear. As I said, the deficit was just the 4 times, which now with all the nerfs they did, 4 times deficit is really nothing, guys. So yeah, it was quite simple. If it had been a 365 Meliodas, it would have still been probably doable. Anyway, well, for sure doable. Now I'm also going to show a weird thing, I think, here. Here, Kunran did more damage than him. Just at the end of the fight. I'm pretty sure it was because Meliodas died in some weird way, but let's replay it. I didn't check it because it went in autoplay, and this is my first time looking at the replay. But yeah, it's just to say that even without Meliodas, because if he's going to die really soon. Let me see because I'm really curious. I haven't seen it. Look, he's there with the special move. He's not casting it. Okay, he's casting it now. He kind of one-shotted Anak. Cool. He's not dying. So how did Kunran deal more damage than him? Meliodas is attacking Karaka and Kunran was killing off the other units. That's probably why. But okay, so Meliodas didn't die, which makes more sense to what I thought before. But how how really to me it's strange that Kunran did that much damage because again, let's have a look at the equipment. And this guy had magic resistance piece here, a +8 magic pierce with just random stats below. Also here, random stats. I think the total amount of magic pierce was really nothing. And this guy dealt more damage than Meliodas. So Kunran, guys, is not a bad unit at all. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. This one was just a weird occurrence, I would say, because most of the times, like let's also have a look at what 44. I think also here I used Meliodas. Yep. Yeah, also here Kunran did no damage. So I don't know what exactly happened there, but okay. Let's just have a look also at this clear. So yeah, I would say Escanor just made all those close range units that we have in blue team really a lot better because now they just don't die and it's crazy. Okay, look at the damage, guys. It's really, really high. And then he becomes so tanky after we cast it. So really, really good. He's a bit slow, in my opinion. Like it takes a lot of time to cast the auto attack and the special move, etc. But overall, Meliodas is really, really solid. Again, I'm not sure who to recommend between him and Elizabeth. Well, not that you guys can actually pick. It will depend on who the game wants to give you. They are both really, really good. I don't know which one of the two is better. As you can see, I didn't use Elizabeth lately in the last clears because one, I just got the new link, so I was like, I don't need to run them both. It doesn't make sense. I just want to focus more on Meliodas and see how he performs. So yeah, I just wanted to try him out a bit. He's totally fine. He can definitely carry the team on his own. So yeah, that's pretty much all, guys. If you have any questions on him, feel free to drop them down below in the comments or in the Discord section, like in the Discord server, sorry. And yeah, I will try to reply to them as soon as possible. Unfortunately, like lately, I didn't have a lot of time, but now I will try to be more present, comment as much as possible, and give you guys any kind of advice you might need in the Discord server as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.